So let's start our today's session. So the objectives of this session, what are they? By the end of this session, MFDs, both male as well as female, should be able to motivate their female clients for two of the following things. First, to be a part of financial decision making, that is, become influencers in the house. Second, they should actively start investing in mutual funds as investors. Now, if both of these things happen, just as an MFD, imagine what will be the size of your business, what will be the scale of your business going forward. And in that, you are empowering women to be financially free as well. Prerequisites needed. So the following things would be required by female clients to be influencers and investors. First and foremost, be interested in contributing to the financial well-being of the family. Now, this is not a neglected kind of a thing. But if you see, because women have a lot of things to shoulder, a lot of things to take care of, at times this part takes a backseat. So we want them to be genuinely interested in contributing to the financial well-being and take actions around that. So that is the first step, because if the interest is not there, nothing else will follow. Okay. The next thing which is required is obviously spend some knowledge to acquire more information on the financial matters. Now, tomorrow, if a lady says, okay, from tomorrow onwards, I'm going to be a part of the family's financial decision-making process, but I don't know anything, is that going to help? Absolutely not, right? Is there going to be a separate coaching given to you over a period of next 6 months or 12 months as an MBA to train you on investments? Again, no. You'll have to self-educate yourselves. We are there to support, but you'll have to do that. Third, understand wealth creation using investments. So we all know that investments create wealth, but how can it happen? That is what the ladies need to know, or they need to know it much better. Know the basic differentiation across asset classes and investment product categories. What is equity? What is debt? What is money market? What is commodities? What is real estate? All that you should be able to understand, and the investment product categories as well. When I'm saying you, it is not you who are participating in this session. When I'm saying you, it means that the female clients, your female clients, should be able to understand this. You obviously know all of this. Do's and don'ts about investment. This is also very, very critical, because if this does not happen, then obviously a lot of mistakes can happen in investments. Finally, I'm being very selfish. I am from the mutual fund industry, so I want people to know more about mutual funds. So mutual fund as a product category. Now, if you want all of this to be known by your female investors, there are two options available with you. Option number one, you are already qualified, you are already expert, you already have so many years of experience. You can conduct coaching yourselves. That would be the best thing possible. I have absolutely no problems in that. But I know you are strained on time. I know you have a lot of commitments. I know in your priority list, this may not feature at the top. So I have one more option for you. The second option is make them a part of training initiatives conducted by Kotak Mutual Funds. So in the month of April, we are going to launch one more program, which is Women and Investments. And this is completely going to be for your women investors. I am not talking to MFDs there. I'm just going to talk to your investors straight. So my request would be that in this 20-25 days, whichever is left of this month, focus and ensure that you talk to a lot of female investors. Some who are not investing with you, some who are only partly investing with you. Create that interest and start more investments from their side. And in the month of April, let's give them a crash course on investments. Now, why would you need to do this? Why do you need to go out of your existing clientele and approach women. So 3-4 things. What is in it for me as an MFD? One more client. So let's say you talk to 100 women, 80 start investing with you. That straight away means 80 new clients. Perfect. Next, holistic approach to investments as one family unit. Now, unfortunately, this is a missed part in the Indian context. The husband does his own investments. The wife does her own investments in the form of recurring deposits, fixed deposits, gold, etc. The son, if or daughter, if they're working, they will do their own investments. There is no common agenda in the family. What can happen is there can be overlap of investments. There can be too much focus or concentration into a particular asset class or a particular sector or a particular type of investments. Proper diversification will not be achieved, and the goals of the family as a whole may not be achieved. So this approach of including women in the financial decision making will give you a holistic approach to investments. Next is higher commitment to investments. So let's say the husband is starting an SIP of 10,000 rupees for the daughter's education. Good initiative, because he feels that that is what I can keep aside, assuming all other constraints. But assuming the wife was also part of this discussion, the wife will say, okay, no problem. I have a family budget from which I will be able to remove 8,000 rupees. So let us, instead of starting 10,000 rupees SIP, let us start 18,000 rupees SIP. 10 you contribute, 8 I'll contribute. So what is happening for our MFD friends is that the ticket size is growing, is increasing. Last but not the least, longevity of investments. That is low redemptions. So let's say the husband has created a good kitty of mutual fund investments. He now feels that I want to upgrade to a bigger car. So he plans to remove 5 to 8 lakh rupees from the existing investments and put it towards the car. But if the wife is a part of this discussion, then the wife will not allow that. Right? She will say, let's postpone the upgradation of the car by a few years and let's focus on this, which is the family goals. Maybe we can arrange some alternative methods to get that money for the car, or we will settle down for a smaller car. So what is going to happen in a nutshell is number of clients get increased. There's a holistic approach to investments. It is a better ticket size and it is a low redemption. All of these are good points for you, right? Hence, my sincere suggestion to all of you is that please start including more and more female investors as your clients. Session flow, what are we going to discuss? Indian women leaders, a glimpse. We cannot talk about all of them. There are so many of them. The entire session would be just putting up photographs. So we'll just restrict ourselves to a few of them. Finances and the Indian women. We'll definitely talk about this. Physical fitness versus fiscal fitness. Essentials of financial wellness. And finally, financial decision making. So these are going to be the 5 odd areas on which we'll talk. So let's start with the first one. Indian women leaders, a glimpse. So the first in the list is our very own Shanti Ekambaram. She's head of consumer banking, Kotak Mahindra Bank. What Shanti has to say? She says, many people have been asking me if I've faced any glass ceilings. I have not faced it because you have to grab the opportunities that come your way. So in the corporate world, there's a proverbial glass ceiling which is there. So you can see to the top, but you cannot go beyond that because the glass would stop you. So there is no technical restriction for any lady to reach any position in the corporate world, but a lot of them feel that their growth is restricted by the glass ceiling. Shanti, already at the top, says nothing like this happens. Next on our list is somebody who made news headlines a couple of weeks back. She is Madhavi Puri Butch. She's the first woman chairman of SEBI. She has many firsts to her record. You can get a list of the entire career of hers, and you'll see she is a real role model. No quotes from her side as of now, but being the chairperson of the regulator in the country itself is a great position. Third in our list is one of our ex Kotakites. She's Falguni Nair, founder and CEO of the brand Nykaa. What she has to say: women need to allow the spotlight of their lives to be on themselves. I hope more women like me dare to dream for themselves. Now, what she's trying to say here is that typically for any woman, the spotlight is on her husband or on her children. But she says, no, the spotlight should be on you yourself. That is where you'll grow. One more thing which I would like to add about her is that she was having a very high paying job in the corporate world. She quit that to start something on her own. And today Nykaa is a very famous brand. So she is a motivation for a lot of ladies to go all out and be entrepreneurs in this world. Coming to finances and the Indian woman. So some reality, this may not exist in your location, but still when we talk about Pan India, it exists in a lot of areas. Reality number one, in some regions, women are born and raised to believe that investments are complex and a man's domain. Unfortunately, some women still believe it to be true. So in a lot of places, women are brought up saying that no, investments is something which the guy should take care of, the men in the house should take care of, and it's complicated and you will not understand it. But is it true in today's world? The answer is no, because if you see, forget the other areas, but if you just see the banking and the financial sector, BFSI, ladies rule at the top. So this reality which exists needs to be shaken and needs to be broken by the work of all of you ladies. That will only completely break it across the country. This I have taken because this is a real life story. So most women do not realize the importance of having a financial plan unless and until they're faced with unforeseen circumstances. One of my dear colleagues, friends, with the ex-colleague, she was a Kotakite earlier. In roughly 3 weeks, she lost her father-in-law and her husband. The only two adult male in the family were no more. And she had no clue about the finances of the house. And she had to support a super senior mother-in-law and 2 kids of 10 years age. So I hope for none of your clients this happens. So please tell them to be aware of whatever financial decisions are taking place in the house, where the money is invested, etc. Otherwise, some unforeseen circumstances will come and suddenly that will open their eyes and it will not be a good sight. Third, now this is true in most of the locations. Day-to-day budgeting is managed by the woman, but investments are managed by the men. Why? A lady who can manage 1,000 things, which also includes budgeting of the house, she can obviously manage the investments. She just has to take that responsibility on her head. It's not that men manage it bad, but a woman has certain other characteristics also which would help her manage it at least at par or maybe better. Now, if you look at the modern Indian woman, she's a multitasker. So what else does she do? She manages a kitchen, parents, in-laws, household expenses, health, fitness of family members, personal career, kids' education, etc. Only one question here. Does she manage the financial decisions? A lot of cases, the answer is no. And when we have drilled down to find out why the answer is no, we came up with these few reasons. So when we said, why not? Why don't you not manage the finances? The answers were like this. Parents and husbands take decision, so they're good at it. Why should I bother? I am too busy. I have already 100 things on my head. I want to add one more. One more task on my head. I don't want to do that. Finally, I do not understand finances. So all of these reasons are valid. I'm not denying that. But if I ask certain more critical and difficult questions, is finances, if you do not manage finances, the future of your family members will be at stake. Your child's education would be at stake. Your child's marriage would be at stake. Your retirement planning probably would go for a toss. Now, if all those things need to be taken care of, are these excuses, as I call them, good enough or valid enough? The answer is no. So in spite of all these and maybe 100 more reasons which stop a woman from not taking financial decisions, she has to overcome all that and start doing that. That is what you need to convey to your female clientele. A few difficult questions women need to answer. Are you aware of the household finances? Some people say yes. Okay. My second question is, are you a part of financial decision making? Some people say yes here also. Now, let me ask more difficult questions. Where is the money invested? So the lady would probably say, okay, there are 3 SIPs which my husband is investing in. Why only in these schemes? Why not some other schemes? There is no answer. What is the CAGR of these schemes? There is no answer. Is this good asset class to hold your money in? No answer. Is it beating the benchmark returns? No answer. Would alternative investments be better as compared to this? No answer. It means you are just aware that there are 3 SIPs of 5,000, 10,000 and 12,000 which are going on. Rest you have absolutely no clue. This does not make you aware of household finances, and this does not indicate that you are a part of family financial decision making. Please tell them this. These questions are very, very important to create that urgency that yes, it is time for them to enter into the finances. Are your plans in place for the golden phase of life, which is retirement? Now, I'm a financial planner and a lot of you are also. So if a client tells me that, sir, I have only money to complete one family goal, which should I pursue? My simple answer is pursue retirement. If there is no money available for child's education, he or she can take a loan. If there's no available money for child's marriage, then you can go for a court marriage. If there is no money available for annual vacations, you can go to your native place every year. But no money is going to be available for retirement. Nobody is going to give you a loan and nobody is going to take care of your retired life. You yourself have to do that. This needs to be told to them in clear words. Do you get anxiety about your financial future? Now, anxiety is a positive word. It has emotions plus positivity at the same time. So having anxiety will create curiosity, will create interest, and will also make you take efforts to ensure that the future is planned well. Finally, are you ready to handle any eventualities in the life of family members? Eventuality does not only mean death. It can mean a disease. It can mean disability. It can mean lack of capacity to continue working also. In today's world, nobody's going to pay you money if you're sitting at home and not doing anything. Right? So those eventualities also may occur because of an accident or whatever. And are you ready to take the entire responsibility in that kind of a situation? Are you prepared for it? Are you ready for it? This question needs to be asked to your female clientele. Right? The objective of all these questions is just to create that seriousness and ensure that they take this investing business seriously. That's it. Physical fitness versus fiscal fitness. So everybody today is aware that they need to be physically fit. So whether they do anything about it or not is a secondary discussion, but they are aware. So every time you put a sweet in your mouth, there's a guilty feeling which happens. Okay, I'm consuming so much amount of sugar. Or you want to go out and exercise, or you want to go and do a morning walk, or a marathon, or some sports, whatever it is. There is awareness about physical fitness. Is there awareness about physical fitness? Yes, no. Maybe no, right? So people know that they need to be physically fit, but they are not even considering their financial or physical fitness. So one is a tick mark, the other is a question mark. I honestly don't know. Now, perks of physical fitness. You can retire comfortably. So I am not saying you retire today, but the moment you feel that, okay, I can retire from tomorrow onwards, I have sufficient money which I've invested, and my investments will take care of my expenses, beating inflation also. So you are ready to retire. You want to retire that point of time or not is a different story. Because there is, on the other side of the globe, there's a set of audience who feels that they cannot retire because sufficient money is not there. So after even retiring actually from a job, they start something else, some other job. Not because they like to do it, but because money is a constraint. So if you have physical fitness, that is taken care of. Bucket list. Now we started earning in our 20s, and today also we are earning. When does this stop? Never. But there are certain things which you like to do, which you have not been able to do because money was a constraint. Either you could not stop earning, or you did not have surplus cash to put into that item. So let's say you want to explore certain countries. One, you will not have time. Two, you will not have money. So those things in your bucket list should get ticked off. And everything does not come with only money. For example, you want to learn some classical dance form, or you want to learn some musical instrument. That is not expensive. But do you have the time? After reaching home and doing everything, do you have the time? Do you have the energy to do that? But if you have money, then you can ensure that certain time is created for yourself to follow your passion, which is a part of the bucket list. Plan A and plan B. Everybody enters into plan A by default. It's an accident, right? But can everybody move from plan A to plan B? Changes in career, changes in location, whatever. It's not easy. I was working in the pharmaceutical industry for 10 years in sales. Then I moved directly into insurance training, right? Now I made that move. Somewhere financial security was a part of it. But for everybody, it's not going to be there. A lot of time, the finances constrain you from doing this. Maybe B is what you love to do. Now, training is my passion. You ask me to get up at 2 o'clock in the night and do training, I'm more than happy to do it. So whether you can move out of whatever you're doing now and move into something which is of interest to you, which is your passion. One of the things probably stopping you could be lack of money. That's physical fitness. Next is, again, in life, you want to take an alternative path. You want to maybe go by the beachside and relax for a couple of months or a year, or want to go to the mountains and relax for a year or two. Can you take a break? Maybe not. But if you have sufficient money which will take care of your finances and etc., will that happen? Yes. You want to pursue some foreign university courses which will take probably 18 months or 2 years. Can you do that? No. But if you have the money, yes. Finally, as MFDs, wherever you are, I've just put some numbers. So decide where you are. That 25 lakhs for you should replace whatever is your current AUM. And the next step should be at least 4 to 5 times that. and the next step should be 5 times that. Okay, so that is what you should look at. Now, in life, you need both physical fitness and physical fitness or financial fitness. If you have only one of the two, it will not help you. So, if you have all the money in the world, but your health does not permit you to travel, what is the point? If traveling is your passion, if it is not, it's a different story. Similarly, you are perfectly fit, but you don't have the money. Can you travel? Answer is no again. So you need to have money plus physical fitness both together for you to travel, right? If travel is again your passion and you want to do it, otherwise it can replace anything else. Essentials of financial wellness. So when we talk about financial well-being, what are we talking about? Ensure that the ladies who are your clients know where their money is going. If they do not understand where the money is going, no planning, no budgeting is possible. The first step is to break down whatever is your monthly income, your and the family's monthly income, minus the savings is your expenses. So find out where that money is going. How much percentage is going towards children's education? How much is going towards their extracurricular activities? How much is going towards your grocery budget for the home? What are your utility bills, payables, etc., etc. That's the first step, without which you cannot go anywhere. Second is budget. Now, very few families go on budget. Budget is not bad. Budget does not restrict you from doing anything. Budget only ensures that whatever resources you have, which is your money, how do you best allocate it as per your priorities? You can order food every morning and evening from a hotel. But is that good for you? Will that fit in your budget? The answer is probably no. Right? So, budget will help you allocate things towards priorities. Follow the 50-30-20 rule. Now, we had an excellent session for investors where we had shared this rule. So, the rule says that 50% of your post-tax income of the entire family should be the maximum allowed for expenses. Expenses involve everything, including utility bills and EMIs. 20% of that should be allocated towards leisure. That is going on vacations, okay, a overnight vacation or day vacation, or maybe for a week or so, 10 days. 20% should be allocated to that. The balance 30% should go towards investments. So 50 is for expenses, 20 is for your leisure, and 30 is for your investments. Now just imagine if 100% of your clientele invest 30% of their post-tax income with you, what will happen? So this, as a financial discipline, you need to install in your investors. Create an emergency fund. COVID has shown us a lot of things, right? 2 years, a lot of learnings. And one of them is people do not have emergency funds. I lose my job today. What will happen? My expenses from tomorrow will not stop. In COVID, we saw that people lost their jobs. People had pay cuts. People had no bonuses being offered to them. What was the result of that? No salary hikes. Income can stop. Expenses will not stop. Remember this very well. And this needs to be told to your customers. How much emergency fund? Ideally 6 months of your expenses. So your monthly expenses, including EMIs, including insurance premiums, multiplied by 6. That should be the minimum, which is emergency fund, which should be ready. Freedom from high interest debt traps. Now, credit card is a very good and bad facility which we have. We go to any mall, whatever amount of shopping we do, we just swipe the credit card and we are out. But assuming you're not able to pay that within the stipulated period of time, then what happens? You get into an interest trap. And that interest is huge. Then what people do, once the debit card outstanding starts piling up, credit card, sorry, people get into personal loans, which is again easy in today's world. Personal loan, also the same logic. So try and ensure that if the lady customers are into this debt trap, try to get them out from it quickly. Because if they continue to be in the debt trap, they will never be investors for it. They can't ever invest. That's the first thing. Financial security is a collective responsibility of all. Remember this. It is not the husband's responsibility. It is not the parents' responsibility. It is not the children's responsibility. It is you and everybody else put together, your collective responsibility. One more line which I hear in my Mumbai office quite often. This is typically coming from the mouth of ladies who are working. They say, my money is my money. Your money is also my money. So what are they trying to say? They're trying to say that, indirectly to the husband, that I am making money out of this job. So I will do some investments for the child, some investments for the house, etc. I'll even pay some of the EMIs. But rest is completely my money. You don't have to ask me, what do I do with it? And I'm not going to give it to you also. Plus, since you are my husband, your money is also my money. You also have to give me money out of whatever you earn for my personal expenses. Now, I am not against this statement. It's good. But ladies, understand one thing, that if so much money is at your disposal, then that money should be utilized in a proper fashion. That money can be invested to create a golden future for the entire family. That is what you should focus on. Okay. So nothing against this statement, but if it is true, then just remember that huge money is at your disposal. Make the optimum utilization of it for the family's future and your future. Financial decision making. Now, if we look at the grid of financial decision making, at the top of the grid is always risk mitigation. Do insurance planning. So health insurance, life insurance, critical illness insurance. Do that. Motor insurance can come later. These are more priorities. Fine. Do a contingency plan. The way we said emergency fund, etc., etc. All this will be a part of a contingency plan. The second in the list is aspirational goals, because these are which give you pleasure. A home or a second home, a car or a second car. Aspirational goals are above the personal financial goals. Why? Because they help you feel better. They are a positive motivation, right? So do that. Pamper yourself is what I would say, with a bigger house, bigger car. Yes, that is for that you need to do financial decisions. You need to take financial decisions. Then you have the long-term goals, which is children's education, children's marriage, and retirement planning. These also will give you happiness, but these are more of a duty. So a child getting educated well will give you definitely happiness, but a car would give you probably slightly more happiness. Okay. So aspirational goals, that is why always are above the long-term goals. Retirement, obviously, as we have discussed it earlier also. Finally, others. So annual vacation. So these are certain financial decisions, decision-making areas which are there. You need to put your contribution, your value add in each one of them. Contribution always does not mean money. Contribution means your thoughts. Contribution means your ideas. Contribution means your support, willful support, not support out of compulsion. Right? Now, a lot of ladies, when we have interacted, have said that no, finance is difficult. Money management is not easy. Investment products are complicated. I completely do not agree to these statements. I firmly believe that finance is in your DNA. If you want to find out who did a good job managing money, check your mother, check your grandmother, check your great grandmother. Those ladies did not have any financial grounding, but still they manage finances. I can give you my mother's example. So when we were small, mom had her a cupboard, typical almari, as all ladies have, and it was her property in the house. Nobody was supposed to touch or put anything inside that. In her almari, she had envelopes. One was labeled grocery, the other was labeled education. There was a medical label also there. Then festivals and other functions was there. Though she did not have any financial grounding, she was a teacher by profession. She ensured that none of the envelope money was used for any other purpose. In our financial language, we call it non-fungible. If I would have asked her what is non-fungible, she would not have known, but she was very clear. And did she do a good job? The answer is yes, she did. Because all the three of our education went on well. Our marriages went on well. For all medical emergencies, money was available. And there was no day when we did not have ration to eat in the house. And probably that is what my grandmother also did. I don't know my great grandmother, but maybe she also did the same thing. So ladies, finance is in your DNA. And money matters are not alien to you. Both these points you need to explain clearly to your lady investors, so that even the smallest percentage of fear which is in their brain, in their heart, in their mind is completely removed, and they go full forward to managing finances in the house. Always remember, there are two greatest risks which all of us face. Okay, what are those? The first risk is not knowing what you're doing. Now, let's say a lady gets highly motivated by what you are saying and starts investing in mutual funds. She has absolutely no clue what mutual funds is. Will that help her? The answer is no. Obviously, you are there to guide her. I'm not saying no, but she should also know what she's doing with the money. Not knowing what she's doing can be a problematic situation. The second, which is a bigger risk than this risk, is not doing anything at all. So if a lady decides, okay, no, I will not manage it, tell her that is the biggest risk which she's taking. She does not understand investment products. Okay, let her spend 1 month, 2 months, 3 months understanding it and then start investing. I'm still okay with that. But because she does not know investment products, not investing is a completely big risk. And at stake are her family financial goals. At stake are her family members. At stake is the future of the house. So that's a very big risk.